joined now by Doug Jessop from Family Heritage Stories, a show that I'm so proud to be part of with Doug. Share with our viewers why it's so important to preserve your family stories.
Well, to me, if stories are not passed down from generation to generation, they're lost. And the one thing that I love is the power of stories. I mean, think about it back to the, when they introduced talkies, okay? So you've got motion and you've got sound. And when you get motion and sound together, you get motion and emotion. And emotion is what really moves things, because we want people to not just hear the stories. We don't want people to just see the stories. We want them to feel those stories. I mean, you visit with your mom all the time, and she's older, and yet she brings back that spark in her eye when she talks about her story.
I was just telling you this, that for my mom, the future it looks uncertain.
Yeah.
But the past is where she lights up.
Oh, yeah. And that's where I love the power of stories, to be able to get these things, because we want to encourage people out there to basically have the conversation, okay? It's ideas and examples of stories, because everyone has a story. They may go, oh, no, I don't. Yeah, everyone has a story.
So many people have said to me, and by the way, Family Heritage Stories airs right here on ABC4 Sunday nights at 11, so tune in. But so many people have said to me, I feel like I'm losing my family history.
Ooh.
So that's why you do what you do, is you want to inspire people to preserve those stories. How do you think that the show is serving the community, or how has it served it so far?
Well, it started with interviews with these Vietnam veterans that flew in from all over the country. And so that sparked something that is now called Hero Salute Stories. So there are people out there that say, oh, I'm just doing my job. But no, it's more than that. It's those firefighters, it's those doctors, it's those nurses, those first responders, the military. And, I interviewed a police officer the other day, and it was interesting. He reminded me of another term for a police officer that I hadn't heard in a while.
Share that with our viewers. I hadn't remembered it either.
Peace officer.
Yeah.
Peace officer. I mean, because their job is to help calm things down. And I'm going, wow, that's a cool story. And he went into all kinds of interesting things where basically he had a stop out in the middle of Tooele years and years ago at 2 o'clock in the morning, and came up to this guy and said, hey, sir, I noticed you're moving around. Are you okay? I just wanted to check and everything. It's sir. He goes back to his car and calls in the plate. Come to find out that the guy that he had just stopped had warrants for murder. Comes back and says, you know what we need to do, and then they got out and everything. And then when they got in the back of the cop car, you know what this guy said?
What?
He said, I just needed to know, officer, when you go back to my car, there's a 350 Magnum underneath a newspaper on the front seat, and I was going to kill you. But because you were kind to me, I decided not to. Whoa, talk about the
law enforcement does day in and day out.
Wow.
See, and someone would say to that person, you should write a book. And I think all of us should write a book, but if that's not in your wheelhouse, because often it's not, that's where Family Heritage Stories comes in.
Exactly. Well, the other thing is, look, everybody's got a phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Writing's down, so it's great and wonderful, but the reality is to get it on our kids' and our grandkids' devices, we need to get it on video. And so we want all you guys to have conversations with your parents, your grandparents, your kids, etc. And if you need help, we can help you, because let's get real. How do I put this? I'm pretty sure that some people would tell you, Nicea, more things than they might even tell their own kid.
I'll pull it out of you.
Yeah, okay.
Gently, oh so gently.
Yes.
But it's true, sometimes those conversations and what comes out of them are easier with someone else, not family members. So email krista@fedorafoundation.org if that's something you're interested in. But before we go, we want to show you a clip, a little preview of the Family Heritage Stories episode coming up this Sunday.
So work with the crew. You want to make sure the president gets in and out. And the idea is to have no news stories. No stairs-in incidents, nothing like that.
Oh, come on. My great-grandfather's farm that he was born and raised on, there was a pond there that he ended up getting baptized.
You cook in these little cast iron pans, and you slowly turn them so that they fill in and they become almost like a small donut.
You just saw a little glimpse of season 3. We are starting to shoot season 4 next month.
Isn't that awesome?
If you would like more information, everybody, please go to fedorafoundation.org. And our thanks to Family Heritage Stories for this sponsored interview. Good to see you, my friend.
Likewise.